Up next, the biggest tag team contest of the evening, as the former TV Tag Champions Eddie and Ray Gunz, the Gunz Brothers, face the undisputed World Tag Team Champions, the Originals, in a non-title matchup.
Eddie and Ray have been pretty salty since losing the TV tags to the Southern Gentlemen. A win here over the Originals would be a really big deal, but not likely.
The next non-title tag team match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Women's World Champion Dynamite Genie Parker, at a combined weight of 490 pounds, from New York City, the team of Mr. Ringside Eddie Gunz and his brother, El Jefe Ray Gunz, the Gunz Brothers.
The classic 70s rock ditty driving to the edge of time, heralding the arrival of Eddie and Ray, the Gunz Brothers, and Dynamite Genie Parker. And indeed they have certainly been quite salty since losing the TV tag titles to the Southern Gentlemen, and they want to get back into the scene quickly.
I think Myron said it a few weeks ago, and I agree with him when he said the Gunz Brothers are almost certainly on the comeback trail, which is maybe why they signed this non-title match with the Originals, maybe deciding to test themselves to the absolute limit against the single greatest tag team RWL has ever produced. Well, aim high, I guess, and that's exactly what they're gonna get from John Van and Guy Cormier.
Their opponents accompanied by Sylvia Strong at a combined weight of 510 pounds, from Chicago, Illinois, the Chicago Hammer John Van, and from Staten Island, New York, Crippler Guy Cormier. They're the RWL Undisputed World Tag Team Champions, the Originals.
No team in all the history of 28 years of RWL has dominated the tag team scene quite like John Van and Guy Cormier, the Originals, who for over 12 years have absolutely been the team to whip the world 3 times, multi-time tag team champions, and now on a years-long run as the undisputed World Tag Team Champs.
Hey, when you're good, you're good. And John Van and Guy Cormier, along with Sylvia Strong, they're very good. I like their new team music. It's very good.
That's actually pretty good, yeah. All right, well, Ray Gunz and John Van, the Chicago Hammer, starting us off here. Referee Walt Rothburn sounds the bell, and whoa, here we go. Ray Gunz drives 2 knees into the back of the official. John Van slams his head to the mat for that one. Fist drop. And John Van not looking too happy right here. Whoa, nice counter. The Chicago Hammer slamming the big bald head of El Jefe, so the canvas busted him open with that last fist drop. The referee back on duty is John Van with a beautiful crossbody, just beautiful, across the belly of El Jefe Ray Gunz. Oh, a series of hard lefts and rights and a forearm. And the Chicago Hammer escorting El Jefe to his corner. His team's corner with a chop across the chest for El Jefe. And John Van absolutely just, oh man, exploding on El Jefe Ray Gunz. Ray Gunz counters with a kick. They lock up mid-center. Snap suplex from Ray Gunz. I admit I'm surprised he didn't tag out to his brother. John Van fails to connect with the dropkick. Short DDT from El Jefe, who now steps out and tags in Mr. Ringside Eddie Gunz. The Women's World Champion Dynamite Genie Parker at ringside, encouraging her fella and his brother in this matchup. Eddie goes all the way up. His team's corner on the top turnbuckle. John Van stands up and whoa! Flying fist drop. Takes John Van down finally. Now raining right hands on the head of the Chicago Hammer, follows it up with a couple of stomps to the midsection. John Van puts a hold on that kick, turns it into a dragon screw. Here, oh, look at this clever roll-up package here. 1, but only a 1. John Van finding his way out of the pin pretty easily. As Mr. Ringside starts pistoning right hands on the head of John Van. Hard kick to the back. Sylvia Strong, of course, watching her team very closely, as she always does. They lock up. Up over the shoulders goes John Van. And whoa! snake eyes right into the top of the turnbuckle as El Jefe comes in on the tag. Flips John Van over, goes for a quick cover here. One, but again, only a one. The Originals, absolutely born double tough, off the top rope, fails to connect with the shooting star. Should have watched where he was going. Whoa, little inverted atomic drop and a splash from the Chicago Hammer. Who now tags in the Staten Island Crippler, Guy Cormier, who moves in on Ray Gunz with a stomp and a kick. Now going for a cover. 1, 2, but only a 2. Ray Gunz bleeding from his injury as he stands back up, locks up Guy Cormier, spins him around. Whoa, nice wraparound DDT. Elbow to the midsection from Guy. And into a Luthes press, hard right hands right on the injury site. That's the Originals. No quarter given and none asked as Mr. Ringside comes back in. A knee, kick, a right, a punch, and whoa! Guy Cormier putting the brakes on that one. Guy with a belly-to-belly suplex on Mr. Ringside as John Van is tagged in. The Chicago Hammer moves in on Mr. Ringside here, delivering a second belly-to-belly suplex. You got one from each member of the team here. Whoa! Drives a knee into the arm of Eddie Gunz. Now with, oh man, elbows to the shoulder. Mr. Ringside, oh here we go, the claw, the brain claw. This has ended many a match right here. Mr. Ringside, look at this right here, stands himself back up and trying to separate that claw, and finally does succeed in breaking the hold. Charges, misses with the kick. John Van gets an elbow in the head instead. Up over the shoulders goes John. Whoa! Beautiful discus punch. As Mr. Ringside drags him center ring. See where this goes? Look at this. John Van rolls him up into a package. One, but only a one. And barely just. The Chicago Hammer catching elbows to the midsection here from Mr. Ringside. They lock it up. And here we go. Whoa! Drives a knee into the head of the Chicago Hammer. Momentarily stunned, dragged center ring. Mr. Ringside. Eddie Gunz rounds him back up again. Collar and elbow and up over the shoulders into the fireman's carry. And another spinning discus punch from Mr. Ringside. Rebounds off the ropes. Beautifully executed shooting star. Cover. 1, 2, but only a 2. John Van still in the game as El Jefe Ray Gunz is tagged in. Ray charges, running. Drop kick. Takes John right back down again. Rounds him back up. Whoa, look at this. John Van turning it around on El Jefe. Gathers him back up again. They lock up. Ray Gunz being escorted to the Originals corner, but countering and escaping said corner, delivers a kick. And now El Jefe, returning the favor as it were, drives John Van's head into his turnbuckle. Kicks, whoa, wicked kick with the rope right there too. Look at this, Ray Gunz, whoa, look at this. Little bit of round and round we go for the Chicago Hammer as Mr. Ringside Eddie Gunz is tagged back in. The Originals finding themselves in quite a bit of trouble, a little bit out of the ordinary actually. Here we go. Oh, flatliner. Mr. Ringside covers. 1, 2. But no, John Van absolutely refusing to give up the ship here. Stands up. Whoa, countered. John Van delivering a series of wicked kicks to the back of the leg of Mr. Ringside. They lock up again. Up over the shoulders. And here we go. Another beautifully executed discus punch from Mr. Ringside. John Van counters with a kick to the midsection. Tries for another on a DDT. Putting Eddie Gunz down. Gathers him back up yet again. Up and over into a beautiful scoop slam. As John Van takes himself out of the equation and brings in Guy Cormier. Sylvia Strong got to be a little bit concerned. As Guy Cormier takes himself up to the top turnbuckle. Eddie Gunz slowly getting back to his feet here. And here we go. Whoa! Failed to connect with that one. And Mr. Ringside prepared to make him pay in full. Whoa! Forearm across the face. And Guy Cormier is on the canvas with Mr. Ringside. Starting to really go to work here. The Gunz brothers certainly performing slightly above peak this evening. John Van and Guy Cormier having their share of problems in this matchup. Guy Cormier with a scoop slam. Mr. Ringside laid out as John Van comes back in. John Van. Here we go again with the brain claw on Eddie Gunz for a second time. This could very well be the end of the thing right here. John's got that locked in. Here comes El Jefe to the rescue. But no, Eddie Gunz getting back up again, refusing to yield to John Van's submission hold. Off the ropes. Beautiful kick. As Ray Gunz hangs Guy Cormier off the top rope. As Eddie Gunz pistons more right hands into the head of the Chicago Hammer. Mr. Ringside takes himself up to the high red district here. John Van getting to his feet here. Here we go. Failed to connect with that fist drop. I don't know how. I have no idea what he was trying to achieve there. Spinning punch that, whoa, John Van collapses. You could see him lose control of his bodily function. As Ray Gunz comes in on the tag. Look at this. Guy Cormier trying to get involved here. He is not the legal man. John Van catching all kinds of shots. Whoa! Flying buster out of absolutely no place from John Van. Slams Ray Gunz head into the mat again, going back to the original strategy as Guy Cormier is tagged in. Drop kick from El Jefe and a beautiful, beautiful spinning moonsault. And here comes Eddie Gunz on the tag one more time. Here we go. Whoa, kick to the midsection. Tried for the DDT, but Guy Cormier getting countered with shots to the midsection. Kick to the gut for Eddie Gunz. A jab, a right, a kick, and a spin kick. That absolutely took Eddie Gunz down. And here comes John Van one more time. Sylvia strong. Perhaps feeling a little bit more enthusiastic as John covers. 1, 2, but Ray Gunz right there to save the match for his team as Guy Cormier is shown the outside. John Van tags El Jefe with the right before pitching him outside. And here we go. Mr. Ringside nails him with the flatliner one more time. Covers, hooks the leg. John Van in trouble. Guy Cormier nowhere to be found, but powers out of the pin at 2. Eddie Gunz gathers him up again. A gouge of the eyes, and whoa! Where was the referee when that low blow was delivered? Eddie Gunz, another kick to the midsection, and here we go one more time. A third pedigree for John Van. This is definitely going to be it right here. Covers. 1, 2, 3. That is the end right there. The Gunz brothers pulling off an incredible, borderline miraculous upset here.
The time was 10 minutes and 39 seconds, and your winners, the Gunz brothers.
Well, file this match under stuff that usually doesn't happen. As Sylvia Strong and the Originals will have to reach into that dusty old ledger and mark an L in the column, which almost never happens. The Gunz brothers pulling off a king-size upset against the undisputed World Tag Team Champions in a non-title matchup. And what's that going to mean for the Gunz brothers heading down the road? Remains to be seen. That is for certain. We will be right back with more RWL Rage right after the break.